Alright guys, this is the Raging Reject back with another video. Alright guys, now I've watched Lucha Underground about 4 or 5 episodes, I think it is now. I've lost track. But I wanted to review the shows and I wanted to talk about exactly what I felt good and bad about the show. And honestly, there's really nothing bad about the show. But my favorite wrestler now, thanks to the show, is oddly enough Johnny Mundo, aka John Morrison, aka Johnny Nitro. Um, it's a terrific new wrestling show. I want to get the word out to everyone possible, even though everybody on the internet usually probably already knows by now. It's gotten just as popular, at least by word of mouth, as ROH, and it can only get bigger. And even though I've never followed luchador type of wrestling, um, because Triple A's in another language. This year, I remember seeing a Don Tony podcast, and he said 2014 is the worst year in wrestling, and I laughed my ass off because, obviously not literally, but because it's not a bad year. WWE sucks as always, but I don't consider WWE as wrestling because, well, let's face it, it's just it's more of based on the freaking entertainment value of kids and comedy over actual storytelling in the ring and matches that matter. And they insult the fans' intelligence in every way by pushing the same guys in the same spots and only pushing people based on. I'm going off track here. I'm trying to stay. Sorry, I get tired of people. Anyway, but anyway, he said 2014 was the worst year in wrestling, and that is not true at all. TNA has been terrific. Uh, people like OTRS and Fool Killer, not so much Fool Killer because Fool Killer seems like he's a legit fan. He's my favorite YouTuber when it comes to wrestling reviews, but he still nitpicks the shit out of the show, and he does get on my nerves, but at least he's still a fan. Now, Sleg Daddy, he really has been pissing me off with his videos lately, with how he would, even if it has nothing to do with TNA, just in general, he really needs to stop watching wrestling for a while. He Every review he does is like so much hate, and he only focuses on the negative. He seems like he's tired of every little thing, even if it ain't bad. He's just tired for the sake of being tired. He pissed off for no reason most of the time. Anyways, back to Lucha Underground. It's terrific. Another thing to really make 2014 a great year in wrestling. And ROH, I watched one episode recently, and then I watched another, and it sucked. So it was like one good, one bad. So I have to try to watch it again. But after that last episode, I'm not a big fan of the Briscoe brothers as top guys. And I don't know about y'all, but eh. And a lot of the other talent, it's just they really pick people that are really not that entertaining, or at least eh, just people that's like on the mic. They put people on the mic in ROH that shouldn't be on the mic, and they put people that should be in the ring or probably on the. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. They push the wrong people and put people on the mic that shouldn't be on the mic. Is all I'm saying. They really need managers, and that's where Lucha Underground, I think, takes a lot of ECW elements where they focus on everybody's strengths. TNA has been doing that lately, and that's why they've been great. They've been focusing on what they do best. And not TNA, and Lucha Underground does what they do best, and that is focus on their strengths. Something WWE doesn't do, and something ROH doesn't do. Anyways, to move on to the point of why it's great, I would say is they have solid wrestling. They focus. There's not been a single botch that I've seen, and it's just very creative in the style of the way they wrestle. I love the fact that it's not. there's a lot of moves. It's not, like WWE where it's like 5 moves, and you have a bunch of rest holds for filler. You have legitimate move after move. Nobody has set moves. They might have a signature and a style, but and they have some other noticeable moves that they do in particular that nobody really does. But I love the characters in our Lucha Underground. That's what makes a great indie. Not even it's not. I don't know, but I don't know what to call it. I don't know what technically makes it indie. I don't know if they try to be uh, different or what, but I love the production values. That's the single first thing you'll notice about Lucha Underground: the camera work and the backstage interviews. It's like a shot like a movie, a drama, like at basically Law and Order or True Blood or something of that nature, where it's actually shot in very detailed and choreographed, and all that stuff. Whatever word you would use, I don't know. But anyway, it's very staged, but it's very entertaining. It makes people who really wouldn't normally be that entertaining, uh, probably like Johnny Morrison, who's known for being having bad promos. Even though I've seen on his Facebook page that he's pursuing acting, so that might put in. I have to put that in consideration. That maybe he's already improved. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, they John Morrison in TNA. Yeah, I keep saying TNA. Lucha Underground, top notch, great. Another. Let's see. I want to tell you all the noticeable names. There's John Morrison from WWE. There's Chavo Guerrero from all the organizations. There's Conan. He's in a backstage role only, manager for Prince Puma, who is a terrific main event caliber luchador. He has very athletic style moveset. And I say my top three. Also, the top baby faces to me are Johnny Mundo, Phoenix, Prince Puma, Sexy Star. Uh, hmm, let's see. I might be. I'll just go to the heels. The top heels will be Big Rick, who is Ezekiel Jackson. Uh, see Chavo Guerrero. He turned heel. That was on the first episode. He actually turned it. He started out as a face. Uh, let's see who else. You got um, the CEO of the company. He's the big talker. He's very talented in the way he talks and the way he presents himself and the atmosphere around him is very. He's pretty much the new Vince McMahon. Like he's maybe not that great yet that we know of, but he is a probably the most likable heelish owner I've seen since Vince McMahon. So that's great on its own. There's a lot of other great talents out there, and that I probably either didn't think of or don't really know as if they're main event caliber. Drago is very good. He, the Son of Havoc is a good jobber type. I mean, he wins matches, but he also loses them. I like that. None. Oh yeah, another major heel is probably Mil Mortez. I think is how you pronounce his name. He's pretty much this very dark powerhouse. He reminds me of one of my favorite wrestlers ever from World Wrestling Society X back when it was around. Is that what's his name? Judas Macias. He was also in TNA as Abyss's brother, and I love that guy. But this Mil Mortez, he's very, very like him and very entertaining. He has sort of like the straight to hell move, which was the running flatliner, whatever you want to call it, Novocaine, whatever. Uh, he has a good move set. He's very, good powerhouse. Great. You also have Blue Demon Jr. I guess he's a legend in the luchadors uh, scene, and he was good. It was Chavo versus Blue Demon Jr. was the first ever Lucha Underground match, and that was great. And I love the fact that Sexy Star came to mind. But you also have Evilise. I think that was the girl that was in TNA. It took me a while because I knew that name, but I couldn't tell where she was from. I'm thinking it was that girl that Fool Killer was so behind. I might be wrong about that, but she was pretty over in the crowd. I mean, even though she was a heel and very good at being a heel, she was still over. So that was great. But Sexy Star is what I love about this company is that they have women who can wrestle the men, and there's chair shots. Just so you know, I'm not for chair shots. I think that they're still wrong for the concussion part, but the way they hit, it's more like face shots. It's like uh, that's something I noticed that every chair shot I've seen so far is a face shot, and maybe I don't know if that's as damaging. Probably is, but I've always figured to the you know right here would hurt worse or more. The way you hit people with a chair in that area seems like it's more damaging to the brain. I may be wrong. I've never been hit with a chair, so actually I have, but very lightly. And it was me and my friend. We was joking around, but yeah. And then they also have a midget wrestler who's very talented, and that's really cool. To have midgets versus normal sized people, which is pretty much like Ray versus Big Show. But they do it in a very believable way, and that's what I love. And so, um, I mean, that's something WWE. Well, TNA does it, but WWE doesn't, and that's put booking people in a very believable way. If you have somebody like Edge or Rey Mysterio that's over, they'll beat the other guy no matter what the size is. They might adjust it a little bit, but they still it's like the popularity equals strength to the WWE universe. And Edge could spear the Big Show, and he can lose. Just because he's over, and the Big Show's like maybe been in the business 3 months. That's the mindset of the WWE, and that's very fake. In Lucha Underground, you would have people having to either cheat, even if they're face, or win in a roll up situation. Something you know believable. And they'll fight differently. They'll change their tactics. Like when Sexy Star fought Son of Havoc, she fought with a lot of strikes and a lot of rapid. She fought like she was like had she was the true underdog, and that's what made it so realistic, and I loved it. They had their first street fight tonight, which was Ezekiel Jackson, aka Big Rick, versus Prince Puma. An amazing match. That match was 5 stars, just like the first main event, uh, the debut main event on Lucha Underground, which is Johnny Mundo versus Prince Puma. Those two matches to me are so far the best. They're 5 stars. They're amazing. It makes the chant lucha lucha. It's kind of a weird thing to hear that, but I just man, Lucha Underground is a 5 star show. It has been perfect since this. The second, third show wasn't as good as I say. The first and fourth show is the best so far to me personally. Those just, but they're all great, and I'm looking forward to each and every episode. 45 minutes long. Well, without commercials because I will stream it, but I have no way to. I don't have cable provider or anything, so I have to watch it online, and it just. Mm, I can't believe how great it is to finally have something to watch. And TNA doesn't have any shows right now. They're playing. They have their new deal with Destination America, and so it's just replaying old footage, which is cool. I've watched one match of the so far of the Thanksgiving throwback, and that was a great match that I remember, barely remember, but it's just I want new wrestling. I guess I want some new new names. One of my favorite things to do with wrestling is when you see new guys come up and you see them do new things. You see them getting over in different ways, beginning catchphrases, experimenting It's just very entertaining, and I think only heels can do that. It's not true. If they would just put more faith into faces, but there's some people that, all you have to really do is be likable as a face. Something I really hate about the IWC and all the internet fans, they always bash faces because they're not clever enough. You don't have to be clever to be a face. You have to be likable. If you got over as a wrestler or a character, you're going to be a natural face that doesn't need to be anything else. You've gotten over to be a face, and continue to be over as a face. You've accomplished everything you need to do in wrestling, in my book. If that's way harder to be a face these days than a heel. So if you are over as a face like John Cena, or as much as we do not like John Cena, he's still over as a face to a point. The only reason he's not right now is just because of the fact that he is the only one who's ever pushed in that dang company, and the only one who's ever taken seriously. It's pretty much Cena and Friends, is what I call the WWE. Anyway, yeah, let's not go on to the WWE talk. I'll be ranting all day. But I'm gonna try to cut it short here. It's already a gig almost. I was trying to record with my editor, which I didn't realize I got with the computer, which is awesome. But thanks for watching, guys. I have to convert this again, I guess. It's a pretty big file. I'm trying to, it takes forever to upload these videos. But Lucha Underground, great show. Amazing from start to finish. I love the production value. That's like a TV drama. Anyway, thanks. Subscribe. If you want to see more videos, like it if you like it, and don't dislike it. Just don't. I already got the trolls doing that. But what else is there? Rate, comments, comment. There we go. Comment. Yeah, comment on my videos. That'll be cool. I don't really make videos very often, but if you ever feel it's mainly because of these big ass files I'm having to do. Is the reason I haven't been making videos. I mean, I was gonna start coming back with videos, but all right, I'm gonna cut it off later.